stream every episode of Chicago PD is Peacock.
Chicago PD!
And this fall,
you are a good cop. I bet on you every time.
all new episodes of Chicago PD will return to NBC and Peacock.
Later, Jimmy Fallon welcomes John Krasinski, NBC Tonight.
On our broadcast tonight, inmates across Wisconsin are sitting and waiting. We'll hear about a public defender shortage. Plus, a local domestic abuse shelter is helping survivors with legal bills. We'll hear why they want to help as many people as possible. And a unique history tour in Eagle River takes folks all across town. We'll take a step back in time as your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. News Watch 12 at 10 starts now.
Good evening and welcome to News Watch 12 at 10. I'm Dan Hagan. Some Wisconsin inmates are sitting in jail for months before they get public defenders. Now those inmates and some lawyers are suing the state to require public defenders get appointed to cases in 2 weeks or less. Naomi Coles reports.
Nothing worked, so here we are.
A class action lawsuit 4 years in the making over a problem stretching back even farther.
Our lag time, if you want to call it that, stuns other people. We have one plaintiff in our case who's waited about a year.
Told by one of our plaintiffs that he was told by the public defender's office in Brown County that he was going to, him and everybody was going to have to wait 6 to 9 months to get a lawyer.
John Birdsall and Hank Schultz have spent decades working as criminal justice attorneys in Wisconsin. Alongside several major organizations, they are leading the lawsuit filed by several inmates against the state, representing thousands who wait months for representation.
In that time, witnesses get lost. Surveillance footage gets written over, memories fade, people disappear.
Imagine being a judge and you've got someone who's alleged to be a victim of a crime who's very upset that the case is being adjourned once again because there's no lawyer for the defense. And they don't know when there's going to be a lawyer. And they don't know how the case is even going to go forward. That's happening everywhere in this state on a regular basis.
The goal of the lawsuit, to force the state to appoint public defenders within 2 weeks or drop the criminal case.
This problem is not new. And that has been true with Republican administrations, Democratic administrations. It's always been the same.
The lawsuit claims there's a backlog of about 35,000 pending criminal cases across the state because of a shortage of public defenders. Meteorologist Conrad Sapinski joins us now. We'll head over to the Weather Center. And Conrad, we had a pretty nice day out there, but a few showers as well.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day out to start the day, Dan, but Mother Nature just could not close it out perfectly. We did have some showers that rolled in not that long ago. Most of the action was actually just south of Highway 8. Closer to Wausau and just south of that. Right now we actually do have some thunderstorms developing on the western side of the state right now, going east. So any locations north of Madison, south of Wausau, expect a good amount of rain the next couple of hours. North of that, just some scattered showers all across the overnight hours. Temperatures were in the 80s, but now we're back in the 60s across the state. A couple of 70s out there by Wausau, same thing by Green Bay, coming in at 73 degrees, but 65 here in Rhinelander, same thing north of us, and all around us we're in the 60s. So it is pretty mild for this time of year at the moment, and temperatures tonight are going to continue to be on the mild end as we have lots of cloud cover, scattered showers, and temperatures in the lower 60s. Dan?
A Wisconsin organization is awarding grants for domestic abuse shelters across the state. The money will be used for legal assistance, including at a Merrill shelter. Haven Incorporated in Merrill is a nonprofit serving people impacted by abuse and violence. It recently received a $20,000 grant from the Wisconsin Trust Account Foundation, or WISTAF. Executive Director Kim West says this funding will allow the nonprofit to cover victims' legal fees.
They are needing legal assistance after, we kind of build a rapport with them. We can see if there is WISTAF funding available, and then we can go from there.
Haven has been able to use the funding for 44 victims' legal fees just last year. Ms. West says that these are just some of these small victories that she hopes will lead to a decline in domestic violence.
We're not going to break the cycle of violence with the first generation. We have to just continue to plant seeds, and hopefully, a couple generations down the line we'll be free from violence.
If you or a family member would like assistance for finding legal aid for a domestic violence case, you can reach out to Haven or your local domestic violence help center. Big changes are coming for tens of millions of Americans with student loans. Today, the Biden administration announced it is forgiving $10,000 for middle and lower income earners. Here's a look at what's included. The $20,000 forgiveness is for those who went to college on Pell Grants, then $10,000 for everyone else. Forgiveness applies to those earning less than $125,000 a year. For remaining undergraduate loans, people can cap repayment at 5% of monthly income.
I believe my plan is responsible and fair. It focuses the benefit on middle class and working families.
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson disagrees with the president. He said it is grossly unfair to families who didn't send their kids to college or managed to pay off their student debt, adding that most of the money will go to the earners in the top 60% of the country. The Democratic Party of Wisconsin Chair Ben Wickler calls Johnson's criticism that Democrats are for the elite hypocritical.
It's a little rich for Ron Johnson, who passed one of the most regressive tax cuts for the ultra wealthy in American history, to say anything about who's fighting for working people versus who's siding with the elite.
6 out of every $10 from those 2017 tax cuts went to the top 1% of earners. Biden is also extending the payment pause on federal student loans for a final time through December. A new place to have dinner and gather with friends opened their doors this last weekend in Crandon. Northwoods folks can step foot into the previously named Crandon Hotel and experience it for the first time as 1930 Jameson's Inn. Stacy Jameson and her partner Stephen Wilson have been putting a lot of work into making sure their supper club and bar add to the city.
I love Crandon. It's home. It's where the family is, and it's all 4 seasons, and you can't pick a better place to live.
Jameson was born and raised in Crandon and is happy to offer something new to its residents. There's also live music on the deck and more renovations to come throughout the building. Anyone interested can stop in Wednesday through Sunday. The Eagle River Chamber of Commerce is kicking off the Labor Day weekend with a fireworks display on Friday, September 2nd. Fireworks are scheduled to begin at dusk above the Vilas County Fairgrounds. This show comes after the 4th of July fireworks were postponed due to weather. There's a lot of history in Eagle River, but many people might not know much about it. That's why Lizzie Lumley started the Eagle River Twisted History Tours. It's a 1-hour event that takes you through the downtown area of Eagle River, teaching people about the history behind some of the buildings and events that took place there.
So this building is one of the oldest standing buildings left here in Eagle River. It was our bike shop, but a new place has bought it, and they're going to turn it into an antique store, it looks like. But now the signage that is exposed shows Bradner's, which he was Eagle River's first mayor from 1937 until 1947.
The tour also mentions a bank robbery and Chicago gangsters who spent some time in the area. If you're interested in learning more, you can schedule a tour with Lizzie at EagleRiverTwistedTours.com. With rising prices on food, many in Oneida County are turning to the local food pantry. Coming up, we'll hear how that pantry is keeping up with surging demand. That's After Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
I worked really hard to save for retirement, worked all the hours I could, whatever it took. But Ron Johnson thinks we should consider raising the retirement age for Social Security and Medicare. That's a terrible idea. And he voted over and over again to weaken and cut Medicare, driving up our costs. Ron Johnson even wanted to privatize Social Security, calling it a legal Ponzi scheme. Tell Ron Johnson to strengthen Medicare.
Need a new boat? Then it's time to trade and upgrade with Alumacraft Boats and American Marine and Motorsports, because we need your old one. We need to buy fishing boats, pontoons, and speedboats. So trade in your old one and upgrade into a new Alumacraft boat today. Come check out our huge selection. Or we could help you get top dollar by selling your old boat on consignment. It's time to trade and upgrade with Alumacraft Boats and American Marine and Motorsports. Shawano.
It's Northwoods Furniture's sizzling summer sale going on now. As the summer heats up, so do our sales. Find red-hot store-wide savings at both locations. We have it all. Beautiful furniture and mattresses to fit everyone's comfort and style. Save on select Sealy mattresses, Lazy Boy, and Flex Steel furniture, and more. Enjoy the summer sun, relaxing on quality Amish-built outdoor furniture, all on sale now. Hurry in for best selections. Northwoods Furniture and Mattress in Eagle River, celebrating 15 years in business.
In today's economy, it seems the value of a dollar continues to shrink, while the services offered are getting less and less. Here at Meyer Water Corporation, a new high-efficiency system made by WaterCare can help ease the stress on your checkbook. We are always available to analyze and recommend one of these units.
So while we can't actually make your money grow, we can make the value of what you get from Meyer seem like it.
It was a nice start to the day, but Mother Nature just could not close it out. We did have some showers that rolled in the second part of the day. Even some thunderstorms just south of Rhinelander. We had some batches of showers, but take a look at this line of showers right over here. Even some thunderstorms showing up in the yellow and the orange. That's going to be moving in, especially south of Highway 10, just south of Wausau areas. North of Madison, we'll expect a pretty good rainmaker. This batch of rain right here will accumulate close to ½ an inch of rain in some locations. So get ready for the heavy rain and some strong winds, but it quickly moves out. By tomorrow, we're going to be in the clear. Early in the morning, we might have some chances of showers and thunderstorms, but later on, we're really going to be in the clear. Sunshine's going to start to try and peek out later on in the day. Dew points are going to start to drop. I know they're on the higher end right now, in the 60s, even in the 70s, which is more on the tropical end. Doesn't happen often. Every time it does rain and some thunderstorms start to come in, dew points start to rise, but they're not always going to be in the 70s. So it is pretty humid out there, but they really start to drop by tomorrow into Friday. We're going to be feeling comfortable. Dew points are going to be in the 50s, so they're going to be pretty dry. But look what happens by Saturday. We start to climb that ladder into those muggy dew points once again. We cannot get away from those uncomfortable dew points, but it's summer, so it's something that is expected, especially when the temperatures start to warm up and rain comes in on the back end. We had some pretty hot temperatures today in the 80s across the region, 82 in Rhinelander, a whopping 86 in Green Bay, 87 in Wapaka, so it was pretty hot out there, but then it quickly cooled down. Rain moved in, those thicker clouds, and cooled things off pretty quickly from the 80s into the 60s in the matter of an hour in some locations. But right now, we're in the mid-60s in Rhinelander, a couple of 70s popping up to the south by Wausau, same thing by Green Bay, of course. But we are all going to start to cool off. Tonight's going to be a mild one, though. Our average is closer to 50, so we're going to have temperatures in the lower 60s tonight. Cloudy skies, some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Tomorrow, though, a beautiful day. Temperatures a bit on the cooler end. We'll have temperatures around 71 degrees with those showers early in the day. And our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show lots of clear weather Friday and Saturday before more chances of showers by Sunday and Monday. Dan?
The school board in Uvalde, Texas met tonight to discuss whether or not to fire school police chief Pete Arredondo. The meeting comes 3 months after a shooter at Robb Elementary took the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers. Ultimately, the board decided to fire Arredondo. This led to cheers in the crowd. A new study suggests the COVID-19 antiviral Paxlovid reduced older people's chance of severe disease during the Omicron surge. Specifically, the drug seemed to significantly reduce COVID-19 hospitalization and death rates among people aged 65 and older. The researchers found no evidence people under 65 benefited from taking Paxlovid. Patients eligible for Paxlovid are advised to take it as quickly as possible after a COVID-19 diagnosis, within 5 days of their first symptoms. Over the past year, the prices for food have risen 10.9% nationally. That's putting a lot of families in a tough position, and many are turning to food pantries. A local food pantry is definitely seeing a difference right now. Newswatch 12's Kyle Pozorski explains.
We consistently serve a minimum of about 600 households a year.
The Rhinelander Area Food Pantry is a staple of Oneida County. But right now,
we're seeing an increase in costs, food costs, gas costs, housing costs, all of those things.
Due to inflation and rising costs seen across the country, places like the Rhinelander Area Food Pantry are seeing an increase in demand for things like chicken soup.
We do see an ebb and flow based on our local economy.
Over the past 3 months, the pantry has seen an increase in demand by 25%. And Smith believes that rise will continue when a change to SNAP benefits takes effect in October, reducing the amount families receive from the government program.
So they're going to go back to that $20, somewhere in that range.
She says this could bring in even more customers eager to save money.
That will definitely have a large impact on their household income and also on who will come to the pantry for services.
Even with the increase in demand, Smith says the pantry is in a good situation with ample support from area residents, which she believes makes them a great asset for people with food insecurities.
So we want people to see it in terms of a way to leverage their budget if they need to spend more money due to rent increase. This is a great way to fold back into their household income.
The pantry distributes food on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Reporting in Rhinelander, Kyle Pozorski, Newswatch 12.
Well, Rhinelander's girls tennis team started their quest for a repeat of the GNC title earlier this month. Coming up on Newswatch 12, Saul Meyer is in the studio to give us an update on the ups and downs to their start of their season.
We're an electrical contractor for commercial ag companies. We have 80 employees and 40 trucks, and we operate all over. We're paying almost double what we did last year for fuel, and policies from liberals in Washington are making it worse. Senator Ron Johnson is fighting for relief at the pump. He voted to finish the Keystone Pipeline and increase U.S. oil and gas production. That could make a real difference for small businesses like us. Tell Senator Ron Johnson, keep fighting to restore American energy independence.
Did you know you can start your 4-year degree locally and get the same college experience closer to home? From the moment you step onto our campus, we'll be there for you, supporting your dreams, saving you money, and giving you a well-rounded academic and social experience with student housing, clubs, sports, and leadership opportunities. With NTC's liberal arts transfer degree, you can start here and go anywhere, including guaranteed transfer to UW-Madison, North Central Technical College, transferability made easy.
Birchfield Nurseries of Rhinelander has been servicing northern Wisconsin since 1950. Birchfield Nurseries grows all of their own plants, and you will always find healthy, hardy, and well-maintained plants. Let their experienced staff answer any of your landscaping questions. They also handle shredded bark mulch, compost, and topsoil. For all your lawn care needs, they carry sod, premium gas seed, and lawn fertilizer. Consider one of the professional landscape crews to do the work for you. If you want experience with quality, call Birchfield Nurseries.
I'm Tim Michaels, and I know a thing or two about construction. But sometimes, before you start building, you have to tear things down. That's why I'll dump Beaver's job-killing agenda. Totally demolish the woke liberals' anti-police agenda. And hammer Madison's special interests. I'm Tim Michaels. I'm a businessman, not a politician. Tony Evers and his liberal friends have made an absolute mess of Wisconsin. We've got a blueprint to rebuild. But first, we need to do a little demolition.
Coming up on your Thursday, we're going to have a representative from the Forest County Humane Society on Jordan's Way.
All right, watching for scattered showers and thunderstorms that'll be possible again before we dry out on Friday. More when you tune in on your Thursday.
Sports Watch 12 with Saul Meyer starts now.
Rhinelanders girls tennis team started their title defense for the GNC earlier this month, and it hasn't gone the way the Hodags expected it to go yet. However, it's still early in the season, so there's still hope for them to repeat as conference champs. Rhinelander had a less than stellar start to the season, heading to a tournament in Green Bay and going 0-6 and then dropping their conference opener to Lakeland Union. But it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And the Hodags have been able to bounce back since their 0-7 start, beating Merrill and Ironwood to get back in the win column. Head coach Matt Nichols says that his team is better than what their record made them out to be, and that getting these wins finally gives them the confidence that they need to start winning again.
We started off 0-6, which it is what it is, but we've been working hard at practice, and we've gotten a lot of wins lately. So it's exciting to see the girls build some confidence back. They're a good team. It's just nice that they're able to realize that and grow from that.
Team captain Taylor Riopel talks about how the losses have affected her and her team and why they want to win and rep the Rhinelander brand.
We're a great sportsmanship team. We are there to show Rhinelander off. We're not there to why did Rhinelander do that? We are all nice to each other, nice to other teams. We're good sportsmanship all around. That's our team.
Rhinelander looks to continue their winning ways as they travel to Wausau West on Friday for a tournament that involves the host Wausau West, Wausau East, Chippewa Falls, Marshfield, Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln, Anago, and Madison Memorial. The Brewers did not have fun last night. There's just no other way to put it. They dropped their game to the Dodgers 10-1 last night, evening up the series. And they can still win it, however, with a win in LA tonight. The Crew already split a 4-game series with the Dodgers in Milwaukee earlier this month, and a win tonight would give them some much-needed momentum as the gap between them and the Cardinals for the NL Central seems to grow by the day. They're still playing that game right now, but the Brewers are losing 10-2 in the 6th inning, so it looks like that deficit for the NL Central will continue to grow. Staying on baseball, it is never too early for a schedule release, even if the MLB announced their schedule release for the 2023 season 7 months before the season starts, and while this one's still going on. This schedule is interesting, however, because for the first time in the interleague era, all 30 teams will play each other in the same season. That means that the Brewers will play teams like the Mets, as well as my home state, Texas Rangers, and the Houston Astros, as well as keep the rivalry alive with the Minnesota Twins. The Crew open up the 2023 season in Chicago against the Cubs on the infamous opening day on March 30th. They also play on Jackie Robinson Day, April 15th, along with every other team in the league. I know this season is still going on, but I can't wait to head out to American Family Field and catch the Brew Crew in action. Ladies and gentlemen, the ratings war in golf just got a lot more interesting. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy announced earlier today the creation of the Tgl League in partnership with the PGA. The tech-infused league will feature 6 teams of 3 men in 15 regular season matchups every Monday night on prime time starting January of 2024. The league will also feature 2-hour, 18-hole matches on a virtual course with a simulator for drives and long shots, an authentic green for chipping and putting. Let's hear about what went through Woods and McIlroy's heads in the creation process from one of the creators himself.
I think it's a great opportunity for PGA Tour players to show a different side of themselves. Prime time on Monday night. I think it's great for brand exposure to try to engage a different audience.
And I'm super excited to see this new innovative style of golf being played on prime time. This is huge for the sport.
I'm a little skeptical. We'll see how that goes. Thanks, Saul. A new ordinance in Madison is ruffling some feathers. Coming up on Newswatch 12, we'll hear about a new building code designed to save the lives of birds. We'll be right back.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
Here's Mandela Barnes avoiding questions about his unpaid taxes.
He stormed out of an interview after being asked about his unpaid property taxes.
Barnes also paid no income tax, yet Barnes supports Biden's tax increase on working families and an army of new IRS agents to audit middle-class families. Mandela Barnes, higher taxes for you, unpaid taxes for him. Wisconsin Truth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
They want to talk about property taxes.
Need to update your furniture? Menards is your one-stop shop with all of the latest furniture styles at the lowest prices. Plus, a great selection in stock ready to take home today. So go ahead, relax in a recliner, get cozy in a love seat, or simply unwind with a comfy sofa. Need more seats? We've got sectionals too. Get 11% off on your new furniture set now at Menards. Hurry in. These deals won't last long.
Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Scherer, DC, with the Spinal Aid Center of Wausau. Are you one of the millions of people suffering with the symptoms of peripheral neuropathy? Your symptoms may include numbness and tingling in your feet or hands, difficulty sleeping from leg or foot discomfort, and debilitating balance problems. I have good news for you. You can now get relief with our breakthrough treatment method without the use of drugs or surgery. Our treatments help to heal damaged nerves that cause peripheral neuropathy. If left untreated, you may eventually end up with a walker or wheelchair, so don't delay. Call our office now to schedule an appointment to see if our treatment methods are right for you. We will do a painless neuropathy severity exam to determine the amount of nerve loss. If you qualify for our treatment, it can truly change your life. Start living your life pain-free. Call today.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan and roadside assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
A Madison ordinance meant to help prevent birds from flying into glass survives a legal challenge for now. Reporter Anthony DeBruzzi caught up with advocates who are calling it a win, while others worry it will hurt construction costs.
A City of Madison ordinance from 2020 is ruffling some feathers. It requires buildings that are over 10,000 square feet like Ogg Hall here at UW-Madison to use 2x2 dots like these to prevent birds from colliding with the glass.
Chickadee singing. Cardinal is chipped.
Matt Reitz is the executive director of Madison Audubon, so he knows a thing or two about why birds and windows don't mix.
What's interesting about it is that it is a very preventable problem.
So preventable, the City of Madison passed a set of standards in October of 2020 requiring bird-safe glass for new building projects over 10,000 square feet.
There are little dots, little white dots that go on in 2 inches by 2 inches, and the birds are completely now aware of this surface.
Ogg Residence Hall is one of the spots where you'll see one of these bird-friendly treatments, and so far, they've been effective.
The bird strikes there have dropped dramatically, and it's because of this simple solution that was put on the glass.
A solution that some argue is causing problems.
This was the first ordinance of its kind in the state of Wisconsin. It was also the first ordinance in the country to face a legal challenge.
A group of local developers sued, arguing the standards go beyond what's allowed under the state's building code, something communities can't make stronger. But a Dane County judge ruled the standards actually fall under zoning codes, something the city is allowed to make changes to. The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, which brought the suit, says they are disappointed with the recent decision and plan to appeal.
Know a little more about the problem.
But for Reitz,
there's a cost of doing nothing because we will lose birds. We will continue to have birds strike windows for something that is so easily preventable.
Prevention is priceless. In Madison, Anthony DeBruzzi.
When our kids go to school, we want them thinking about this, not worrying about this. But Tim Michaels would allow guns on school grounds. and let teens buy AR-15s and red flag laws that help prevent school shootings, he says they won't happen here. It's another reason Tim Michael's radical agenda is a risk we just can't afford.
Moments of life are special, and suffering from diabetes should not get in the way. US Med's mission is to find ways to make your diabetes more manageable and more comfortable. You deserve to enjoy life without the constant reminder of living with diabetes. If you monitor with 4 or more tests per day, inject insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, you may qualify to receive a continuous glucose monitor, the latest in diabetes technology. A continuous glucose monitor provides blood sugar readings without uncomfortable finger sticks and alerts you real time to potentially harmful spikes in your blood sugar levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurance companies. If you're a caretaker for someone who suffers from diabetes or have diabetes yourself and meet these conditions, please call our diabetic specialist now to see if you qualify for your continuous glucose monitor.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day and injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call now and learn how to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
So, Conrad, I'm a little worried for our Texan friend right here. He's never had a Midwestern fall or winter, but we should hold off for a little bit here, right? Should be summer?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I just heard that, too. It's unbelievable. I mean, winter's still far, far away, so get ready for the snow, though. I mean, temperatures outside are looking pretty good right now, so we're far from the snow. Keep that away for now, but temperatures are going to start to cool down as some showers and thunderstorms are in the area right now, especially south of Wausau, north of Madison. There's a good batch of some heavier precipitation at the moment, some stronger storms, non-severe at the moment, which is a really good sign. Temperatures were in the 80s. Now we're back in the 60s, a couple of 70s popping up there right now. But we're going to be back into the 80s. Don't worry, folks. 80s are back by Sunday and Monday. Even some mid-80s, so it's going to get hot. It's going to be a nice-looking week, guys. Get ready.
So, Saul, you're safe for now, but you're going to be buying some, gloves and jackets, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay, that's the plan. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
In today's economy, it seems the value of a dollar continues to shrink, while the services offered are getting less and less. Here at Maher Water Corporation, a new high-efficiency system made by WaterCare can help ease the stress on your checkbook. We are always available to analyze and recommend one of these units.
So while we can't actually make your money grow, we can make the value of what you get from Maher seem like it.
Need a new boat? Then it's time to trade and upgrade with Alumacraft Boats in American Marine and Motorsports, because we need your old one. We need to buy fishing boats, pontoons, and speedboats. So trade in your old one and upgrade into a new Alumacraft boat today. Come check out our huge selection. Or we could help you get top dollar by selling your old boat on consignment. It's time to trade and upgrade with Alumacraft Boats and American Marine and Motorsports, Shawano.
Listen to this sweet deal. Ron Johnson used his office to scoop up millions for himself. Like how Johnson secured a special tax break that benefited his own business.
Did my business benefit? Sure.
The tax break helped Johnson double his wealth. And the cherry on top? It's helped make him the 5th richest senator in Washington. Ron Johnson's not looking out for Wisconsin. He's out for himself. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
It's time to amp up the fun at your local Ford dealer. The Summer Supercharged Sales Event is here. So stop by your Ford dealer today and check out great offers on select Ford vehicles. Then discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Hurry to the final days of the Summer Supercharged Sales Event.